Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the GG.Bet Cologne Invitational. It's the final day here. We've got 3 great matches coming up, and I'm joined here with Vendetta throughout the day. It's going to be a super fun one. It's my first day here, so I'm looking forward to getting into some of the games.
Yeah, first time in Kiev as well.
Yeah, exactly. First time in Kiev. Really enjoying it. It's cool to see. The weather is probably the most impressive thing.
Yeah, no, it's extremely warm. We're not cut out for this, really. Like over the course of a long term, this is not what we're meant to handle. We like ourselves at maximum 25 degrees, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
No, but I guess it's a positive problem to have, right? Like it's a luxury problem.
Exactly. You don't really get that at home. You know, you get like one good day a year. I think it's like one summery day, and then the rest is just
rain.
Yeah, rain, depressing, grey.
You know how it is. But yeah, you're right. 3 exciting games. First one to come up to bat is G2 versus Sprout. I mean, surprisingly enough, I'd say Sprout being the one that actually won out their group in pretty impressive fashion, securing their semifinal spot just from day one. G2 had to go through a little bit more of a labored process to get here. But, you know, it's going to be interesting to see. I would still hold G2 as a tiny favorite just going into this.
I think we've seen the odds from GG.Bet that we're kind of favoring Sprout, but I think that's because they've been performing very well.
Yeah, they really have. As we see the pick and bans coming in. And I think one thing is guaranteed, and that's G2 will ban out Mirage. We see Vertigo being taken out by Sprout. That is kind of their go-to as well. It's not too surprising. And there's the Mirage ban from G2. I guess that's just like a staple whenever there's a Shoxy team, right?
Yeah, definitely. We don't really see it come through too often, and the picks coming through Dust2 and Overpass. I'm looking forward to seeing Dust2. I think Sprout are actually a team that is showing a lot of promise on that one.
I really have, but it's a ballsy pick to go up against G2 on that very map. We know the French love to play it. Overpass is going to be the pick of G2, as Inferno and Train are banned out, and that leaves us with Nuke as a decider. So I've been surprised. I've been pleasantly surprised by this kind of a trend that we're seeing more and more Nuke being played. I'm a big fan of the map. I know it's not everyone's favorite because it's a difficult map to play, and I know observers absolutely hate it for understandable reasons. But I really enjoy seeing how teams approach it because there's so many ways of going about it, and I think we're starting to see a trend where teams are actually understanding how to play their T-sides, you know, more so to the point where they're just throwing outside smokes and going out secret.
Yeah, exactly. And that is the most annoying thing about Nuke, right? You have these teams that don't play it, they just throw the outside smokes, and sometimes they can't even do them properly.
Oh, a lot of the times they can't do them properly.
Big gaps, and then people are getting dropped as they walk across. But I think it's because Vertigo's come in, it's kind of made space, and Nuke is kind of being forced into the map of a lot of players at this point. It's like, I'm not playing Vertigo, so we'll play Nuke instead.
Yeah, the lesser of two evils in that sense. And I mean, that's fair. To me, I mean, I benefit from it because I enjoy watching Nuke games, so I'm not too miffed about it, really, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I think Nuke's a map that's very interesting to watch. A lot of people don't like it, but I've always been a big fan of it. I think the new one's actually pretty good as well.
Yeah, and I think the more you get used to it, the more you see it, the more you get acquainted with the map. I think people learn to love the small nuances with the map and what makes it so unique. Again, like the layout is obviously completely different from pretty much everything outside of Vertigo in terms of having layered maps. So yeah, just the uniqueness of it and how much it actually requires out of both the CT and T sides at any given time is really fun to see. It's not a linear map in that sense. Yeah,
exactly. I think the biggest thing about Nuke is the rotations as well. Like you see a lot of the CT sides that know how to rotate properly is unbeatable. I think that's the thing with Australis, right? They just got so good on the rotations, and they knew every sort of instance, and I think it made them very difficult to beat.
Oh, absolutely. It's kind of like when you're a T side, right? You're always feeling like they have 1 to 2 players at every single spot of the map. That's really the testament to a good CT side and how communication can be the alpha omega. But we're not going to see Nuke to start things off. It's Dust2, Sprout's map pick, and here we go out to long with Searson. Lucky's going to be the one to defend from the back of sight. So you have a pretty aggressive mid setup from G2 here to get some early information.
Sprout put a lot of presence towards long there, but they decided to fall back, collect the bomb again.
They still have a lot of utility to run with as well. Smoke.
Oh, Kenny has
3 flashes.
Oh, he hasn't got the information. There's a player just hiding around the corner. Kenny's pushed through. And if he had stayed there a little bit longer, there's multiple players coming in towards B now. This position from Kenny S could be huge.
Yeah, he's going to hang out. And he's... actually, yeah, it's the fake on long that's going to sell it. Really well done here from Sprout so far.
Well, Mirbit making his way through. Headshot from Jaminek. Jack's able to pick him up, though. And then still into a 4v4. Bomb gets planted by Faven. It'll be easily towards the B bomb site. I think G2 have just realized that the A bomb site is completely empty. They're making their way back over towards B. 4 players just sitting outside the tunnels. Seriously, though, he has got the crossfire from his teammate inside of T spawn, so eliminating him will be incredibly difficult here.
Yeah, honestly, if you're G2 in this position, you have Shoxy with a fuse kit, which is great and all, but you don't have any utility. So how are you actually going to make your entrance into the bomb site? Shoxy going down as well. It's all on Kenny, really. He needs to be the one to lead the charge. And meanwhile, everyone else on his team has fallen outside of B. And Kenny, well, had a hope, but that's going to be quickly closed by Faven.
Yeah, so Sprout pick up the pistol there. Quite a well thought out strategy, I have to say.
Yeah.
You know, they knew what way the map was going to work there. Even inside of the tunnels, you had the player hiding behind the corner. So if there was an information play, you know, they weren't really cut off by it. So good stuff from Sprout there. G2 going to go for the full eco, keep the money in the bank.
Yeah, we saw them playing Dust2 versus No Chance at the start of the Invitational as well. And they had a similar buy round strategy where they set up for an A fake, again, do the cross smokes and whatnot. And then they had Speedy walking up the entirety of long, basically catching off anyone who is still holding passively on the site. So we see the odds coming in from GG.Bet. G2 right now being favored as, well, I say that, changes. 1.92 odds favoring G2 to win the map, 1.81 for Sprout.
Well, Faven just walking on in. AK-47 is good for a kill on the Kenny S. Kenny got 1 kill on the USP though, so any kills they find here is a bonus. You know, you don't really expect them to get too much done with the USPs. But I don't think they'll get too much done here. Speedy with the UMP close by. Lucky dropping towards the other side of the map. So at this point, they're just biding the time. G2 realize the important one is coming up next. That's where they get the weapons in play. That's when Sprout will see the gauntlet truly thrown down. And so at this point, it's all about saving as many rifles, as just limiting the casualties.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see if G2 are actually going to be aggressive towards the actual side, or if they're going to set up for exits. Might have a bit of a different idea on both sides. Shoxy so far pressuring from Catwalk as Omnic gets picked off by Speedy, who's been hanging back for quite some time. It's going to pay off for him. That's additional money in the bank. He's going to spot out Shoxy as well, and should be winning out this duel. Ooh, should. Doesn't. Luckily, though, Faven's there to reply before Shoxy picks up a weapon or anything of the sort.
So here comes the buy from G2. It's going to be the AUG for Lucky, MP9 for Jax to get that extra utility in the bank, and Kenny is getting onto the AWP. Ooh, glass cannon, but it's got so much impact that you just have to pull it out. Yeah,
especially considering the fact that there's not really a whole lot of money on the side of Sprout just yet to purchase up an op. You can see Searson opting in for a scout. You might not be expecting Kenny to be brazen enough here to go for a peek, and he's actually not. Kenny's posted up over towards the bomb site.
Well, Faven, that's the Southeast Asia player if I've ever seen one. Sprinting straight through the mid doors. Works out on the shocks though. Flash was good. Headshot collected. Another man advantage is there for Sprout to work with.
G2 so split up. It's all down to Omnic. He needs to find a multi-kill here.
Well, the flashbang's going to go through to Amanek. He looks up towards the window. He does take the kill on the Spitty. Falls back inside the site and gets another one as well. Oh, Amanek. 3 kills collected. Easy as they come. And might just get a little bit more here. Runs out of ammo. That could have been a sick quad kill, but Searson able to pick it up. 2v2. He starts to move towards the door. The fake plant works. Lucky has no idea what just happened. And so Kenny S left into the 1v2. Clutch picks up a kill on the Searson. 1 player left. It's Mirabit, and the bomb is in Kenny S's possession. He spotted it. And with a minute left, Mirabit still has time to work with.
Mirabit. They knew that he was around the long cave area about 20 seconds ago, but obviously that kind of information has been made irrelevant at this stage. It's going to be tough for Kenny to know what avenue he needs to cover. Just have an idea now, though, with the nades coming out. Mirabit successfully retrieves the bomb. So, halfway there.
Well, Kenny S has made the right call, knows that the bomb will be making its way back over towards A, but that Molotov, Kenny's just got on the other end of it. He's crossed already towards the side here, Mirabit onto the spot, but Kenny making his way around the back lines. Has got the AWP ready. This is going to be done to a few seconds. They look away at the wrong time. Kenny S still just hiding, biding his time. Knows he has to go for the bomb plant. Forcing the plant. Moves over the top. And looking for the kill. Kenny S hits the shot, but it's not the kill. The USP comes out. And Kenny will get the double kill. The clutch comes through, but that was incredibly awkward.
That was a big one. Very, very big one at that. Kenny just firing an extra bullet. We've seen a lot of people shoot wildly at corpses so far.
I mean, it's just some BM, right? It's just show you the confidence. You know, I've killed you, I'm going to kill you again.
Absolutely. Kenny doing that with no armor as well, which is pretty big. If he gets tagged up, all of a sudden his aim goes flying all over the place.
Especially since Kenny, you know, doesn't have armor, he's in the clutch, things are starting to fall apart around him. But he's able to pull it off, you know. That coming onto the bomb site, the intelligence and sort of the sense of mind just to sit behind on the A bomb site and force the plant, that's definitely the right call.
Absolutely is. Using that time to his advantage, as we see a bit of a pause coming in. Might be Sprout wanting to talk things over. And I mean, even if G2 do win out that round, it's not like they survive with a whole lot to buy into with the next round. Actually good to see silenced M4 and Shocks. Haven't really seen a whole lot of that ever since the entry of the AUG coming in, even though it did obviously receive a bit of a buff, getting 5 extra bullets, which is pretty significant, but I think it always is going to be a bit of an issue with the rate of fire being less than both the AUG and the regular M4. But the name of the game is going to be 2 MP9s on the side of G2, and this time we do have an op on Searson.
He's impressed me actually throughout this tournament. I've seen a couple of great clips from Searson. He obviously played well at the minor close qualifier. I think a lot of people were hyping him up to be this awkward prodigy coming from Germany. You know, never really lived up to it just yet, so maybe it's a good time for us to show us what he's made of. But already pushed through towards the long hut. Smearbit just holding the smoke up. Jax is just holding the cross, waiting for the shadow. Jax
has been doing this quite a bit, actually, when we've seen G2 play on Dust2. And it's been efficient as well for him. And he's not going to find any action just yet, but if he finds the right timing, he can obviously provide massive information for his team. A bit of a run boost to check the potential Fox angle from Kenny if he's posted up there with an op.
That's a good way of handling that, actually. Just run and bust around the corner. I think Kenny's good enough, though, that he could probably still hit that shot.
It's the crazy part when you run into oppers of that caliber. Though Flash going to come in. Doesn't actually flash Keto, but Omenic's still going to get the drop on him.
Well, Spitty replies to the flash buying of his own. Starts to make his way through. Has a teammate there as well, but
that smoke and spawn was brilliantly failed in the sense that it landed very finicky on top of the boxes. It's not something you see every day.
I think at this point, Sprout just realized, well, we'll go with the strength in numbers. We're a man down. We'll try and run over this B bomb site. And currently sitting here is Amanek close by with the AUG. As they start to come in towards him, Amanek could line them up, but not a single kill coming in. Shocks towards the back of the bomb site, lines up 2. And Lucky's found himself a kill as well. So this is not looking good for Sprout's chances as Shocks cleans them up with the M4A1S.
There we have it. It's been fun to see if for those obviously who have been expecting better results out of G2. It's been lacking up to this point, but we did see some resemblance of their old selves, like in terms of the individuals back at Dallas at least. Kenny S and Shoxy having brilliant tournaments in that sense. They need to keep that going forward as well. Obviously for them, it would be massive to be able to qualify for Cologne, considering they weren't, well, they didn't even receive an invite. Liquid are here because they turned their initial one down. So we'll see though if they can actually topple this. They have to start with Sprout though. And Omenek finds Faven. Eco round on the side of Sprout. He's just flying up top mid.
Well, this is the type of run Jax wants. He wants to get in behind them. He wants to get these eco kills. Amonek's pushing as well, so this could be a rock and a hard place for the Sprout side, but it will be the kills coming in from Amonek. The kills are picked up in the MP9. A lot of cash in the bank, and G2 will take the lead. Yeah.
Right now, we see the potential for a buy on Sprout's side. Question is whether or not they want to force a glass cannon or not. No, it's actually going to be Searson opting to go for a scout instead of an AK. I'm not really sure if I'm too sold on that. I think a thing we've also seen with at least some oppers that they will actually opt to go for the Krieg if they can't find enough money to buy an op. That's still a pretty hefty weapon that can still one-tap people at range. Also get that nifty scope.
I think it is a big part. They just feel comfortable with a scope in their hands. If they don't have one of those, then sometimes they can struggle.
Very true. Omenek now actually going to be donning a second op on the side of G2. So Kenny and Omenek. We've seen Shocks actually play a lot with the op on CT sides as well. Shadow comes in. Jax, again, aggressive. He finds that one kill. He's going to be happy with that. Trades an AK for an MP9. Kenny's also in place.
Well, he's under a lot of pressure. Not really handling it too well. And there goes the help from Lucky. Keto comes in with a double kill. And it's back into a 2v2. Smoke will go off towards the CT cross. Another one coming in as well. You can't exactly smoke that off without 2 smokes. You have to use a lot of utility on the cross. And a big flank from Shox. Not amounting to too much. That's a missed opportunity.
It really is. Double flash comes out. Nothing's going to really phase Speedy, though. Leaves Omnic alone. 1v2. Speedy is tagged up, though. Both players within, well, potential wallbang range and I guess also leg shot range, HP-wise. Omnic doesn't have it on. Well, he doesn't have a defuse kit, actually, so he might just duck out here.
Yeah, there's only 7 seconds to find 2 players and get the defuse going, so he's got to run away, carry that AWP into the next one. And so it will be another round on the board for Sprout. This one shaping up to be a close one, very close to what the odds were saying.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, well, as we wait for the next round to start, what you could do, guys, is hang over to one of the main partners of the GG.Bet Cologne Invitational over at csgo.net and use the code Cologne to get 30% more of your balance to top you up and potentially win some cool skins while you're at it.
Yeah, definitely a good offer to go on over there. Check it out while the tournament's on.
Absolutely. So, see, some pretty cool skins being donned there on the side of Searson. It's Dragon Lore.
I think that might be Kenny's. He's stolen that one.
Oh, he's stolen it. That's brazen. It's taken all that he wants. It's got a pretty nifty knife, too. Not going to lie. Early peek over towards B. Not going to find anything. G2 had a bit of a snafu when they were playing against Hellraisers on Dust2 yesterday. Even though they won pretty comfortably in the end, the one weakness they showed on their CT side was really that B bomb site off of the back of just very odd rotations, just leaving the B bomb site open for no good reason.
Ooh, this is great flash usage coming in as well. That'll completely blind Amanek. He couldn't get a single kill. And so Kido going to drop him. Speedy looking over the top, might find himself a couple of players here. Sprite coming in. Shox will be finished off. And it's into the 2-man advantage for Sprout. Bomb planted at this point, G2 with not that much money left in the bank. The 2 early kills coming in. It's got to be the save.
Yep. Has to be for the French. That is kind of the issue. Obviously, you don't want to spread yourself too thin or stack up too heavily on one end of the map. But with that B bomb site on Dust2 being so hard to retake, almost regardless if you have every nade, to your choosing, it's something that you have to be wary about. And G2 seemingly likes to play it a little bit risky, leaving oftentimes solo defenders, that kind of a thing. And you saw what happens with Omnic there. Well-placed flashes from Sprout's side can easily take him out of contention. And at that point, you kind of just have to give up. And unless you can find shots through the door, that kind of a thing, you kind of have to pray for some luck to go your way. Oof.
That's really unfortunate as well because they haven't really got that much money. Yeah,
I guess in one way, it could be a blessing. It could be a bit of a curse. They could have been, I guess, interested in potentially forcing behind the 3 weapons they bought up, even though they didn't really have too much to supplement it with. Now, actually, they might just go for the pause and try to talk things over, whether or not they want to buy up behind this. They do have an op on Kenny, which is never a bad starting point, but yeah. 3.5 on Shox is the most, really, of the players that need to reinvest, and that might be the issue.
I think since Kenny and Lucky have still got the relative similar money to the rest of the team in the bank, they could probably just leave Kenny and Lucky on the weapons and see what they can get done, because Kenny's definitely a player that could open things up for you.
Oh, definitely so. We haven't seen him go for the mid-peak yet, in a bit of a straight-up duel versus Searson. Like, is understandable to a certain extent. At least I feel a lot more comfortable being the T in that duel. Yeah. We'll see if that changes up, though. Still early days. This is Sprout's map pick, too.
Yeah, he's doing a good job to sort of stop G2 from getting into this one. There's an opportunity there for the Frenchmen to build up a little bit of momentum for themselves, but Sprout instantly back with a reply. Right there in the driver's seat for the meantime. Kenny is going for a short push on the AWP, hoping he can spot someone towards the lower tunnels. He'll just look over the top. Still no one peeking just yet. Eventually, Keto will walk into his crosshair, but it's Kenny peeking towards middle. Searson will hit the deck. Yeah,
that's exactly what you want out of the op, especially as you mentioned. They decide to not buy up behind it. You just want to see what Kenny and Lucky can do with the weapons that they've held on to. And again, even a leg shot from Kenny, all damage done obviously makes those pistols on the side of G2 a lot more dangerous.
This is looking very scary because multiple players are coming towards the area that Kenny's playing from.
And they're so split up as well, right? Like, if somebody gets into a duel with Kenny here with the way they're set up right now, there's no real trade potential. Kenny's going to get away with a frag and bounce away to a new position, and that's obviously difficult to deal with. There's a lot of utility on the side of Sprout, though, as they gather up towards Catwalk. Kenny's already in a position to deal with this potentially.
This is such a scary position to play from. Kenny just sitting back over towards long.
And over towards lower dark. It's a bit of a excursion from Omnic. Omnic's going to be the first to find out. They don't know about the second player in Shocks.
Oh, flashbang comes in. Lucky's just sitting here on the spot and he's rinsing them. That's 3 kills on the AUG. What has just happened? Sprout tried to walk in towards the A bomb site and they're completely finished off.
Yeah, Kenny didn't even have to do a whole lot of work there. Lucky, solid positioning. Sprout just running out of utility to really clear those spots out. That's normally a spot where you would have a Molotov potentially to force people off the angle. But again, they knew about Kenny's op. That's understandably what they focused on getting out of the angles. That's very well done. That's a stolen round from G2.
Yeah. Only 2 weapons in that one, like worth talking about. You have an AWP and an AUG, and they get it done.
Even saving, yeah, even managing to pick up an AK as well. So Shocks doesn't have to reinvest that much either.
Sprout still have a buy though. That's an early kill from me, but off towards long.
Through smoke as well. Not bad at all. First Krieg of the game is coming out. It's going to be in the hands of Speedy. And again, you can see the kind of rotation that G2 are making. For some reason, they seem really worried about their A defense, and I honestly think that's been pretty good in the games we've seen from them so far. Putting a lot of pressure on Omnic to get a lot of kills, and I guess, to be fair, for 50% of the time they've gone towards B, he's been able to do pretty well for himself. But it's still a pretty big risk.
Let's throw a little bit of utility in towards the B bomb site. That causes Shocks to come back over a little bit closer in case Amanek needs his assistance. But the bomb's going back over towards long, and sort of the defense on the A bomb site was very strong, but it's sort of diluted a little bit here.
Yeah, actually Shocks is going to rotate over towards B. He's going to flash for Amanek to let him get into a more aggressive position on Plateau. Probably rotate back, and Jax is going to find the first kill on Taquito.
Falls back towards the car as well, just keeps that kill, keeps it 4v4, and another one coming in from Jax as well. Elsewhere, Kenny S getting it done, but it's the AUG that's lighting Sprout up. Back-to-back rounds coming in, and Sprout will find himself onto Sirius. And that is 5-4, G2 in the lead. And if you're Sprout and you're on your map pick, it's going to be so annoying losing a round that you definitely should have won. Oh,
absolutely. Kind of sets you off in a bit of a tilting mood, and that could spiral out of control very easily if you're not experienced enough to kind of deal with it. There is a pause coming in. I'm assuming this is going to be from the side of Sprout, simply kind of to calm themselves down, right? They should have had at least one more round to their name. Obviously, that can have quite the avalanche effect if they do. CT economy is always like a fickle mistress. But I have to say that for the amount of utility they had there left on them, kind of surprised that we didn't see more being used in terms of smoke on the corner. You saw the second peak actually coming out from long after Nakito gets picked. It's just a blind peak jumping wide outside into the long angle to clear out pit, but obviously you're open from multiple angles elsewhere.
It's very strange. You know, he looks towards pit, but he's completely susceptible to death from any other angle.
Yeah. You're really just banking everything going your way if you're doing something like that. And, well, they've been put back on an eco. Shots being fired top mid is a bit of a distraction.
G2 using a lot of the utility early over towards long, so trying to stop in case there's a multiple player rush coming through that position. And actually over towards B, they're using quite a bit of utility here.
Just get it out of your hands so you can fire wildly, I guess, at players. And I guess for the sake of long, it makes sense. You want to, it's similar to Banana in that sense. On Inferno, you want to trade, hopefully, pretty efficiently with nades flying into a pretty tight space. And also, it allows for Jax to have the option to go aggressive, like we've seen a couple of times already.
Oh, here it goes again. The AUG only getting the one kill.
Really, really wide.
2 kills on the Glock coming in here. Sprout will be happy about that, and another one coming through. How's this even happened? It's Lucky and Jax trying to make their way back in, and the AUG has to get it done here. The bomb has been planted, and at this point, GT are just questioning what the hell's just happened, because this should not have been a round that Sprout even had a chance in. They've got a really solid chance of maybe picking this one up.
They're being patient, at least, in terms of waiting for Mirabit in mid. They know somebody's around. They need to get a move on. 15 seconds left on the bomb.
Well, here comes the play from Mirabit in behind. Oh, Glock lined up. There's the kill. How does this happen? What is happening here? Sprout pull it off with the pistols. It's only the Glocks and one P250 that get it done, and either walk away with an AWP and 2 AUGs.
Yeah, that's it's not what you like to see. We talked about how Sprout probably feeling a little bit miffed at themselves for losing a round like that earlier, as we see the updated bets here. 1.7 in odds favoring G2 to win the map, and Sprout at 2.06. Yeah. Odds given to us by GG.Bet. Well, I guess I can get on board with that. I would have favored G2 going into this regardless, I think.
Yeah.
Now sitting at an even keel.
It's interesting because it said winner for this map as well. And obviously it's the pick of Sprout, so
yeah.
G2 being the favorites on it is kind of scary. And Kenny S going in with the AWP, looking for that advantage peek in towards the tunnels. There's a player just on the other end of the wall. He's going to keep going. Contact play results in an early pick for G2.
It's everyone around that upper dark area removed on the side of Sprout, so map control lost. This is definitely a big one for G2. They've done this before. So take the fight again and finds the perfect angle onto Searson.
This just keeps happening. Why are the pistols the most potent weapons on the server? Well, it's just Kenny S actually on the AWP that's doing anything for G2, but we'll see if the pistols can step up. Kito throwing his Molotov in, but Kenny S going for the jump peak. Very ambitious. Doesn't result in the kill. Kito will pick up Shocks. He's back into touching distance, but Lucky stepping up with the P250. Nice trade for Spitty, but Jax is there, and it's about to happen again.
It really is, isn't it? 2 AWPs on the side of G2. They've also picked up an AUG on Amanek. Kito, how are you going to get out of this situation?
He's not.
Yeah, that's the easy answer. Bomb being dropped over towards long there just really does them in. And as happy as Sprout could have been about that one round with Glocks and PT50s, it's short-lived, to say the least.
It's very scrappy between these two teams at the start of this.
It really is. And again, I feel like that's, well, the A defense on G2 so far has been pretty solid. Again, it's B slipping every now and again.
Amanek hasn't really been that solid anchor, able to get multiple kills. You know, we're going to see him get one. Yeah. But that's a nice shot from Sirius. Amanek getting dropped. There barely is any B defense at this point, but Kenny S able to get the trade onto Favin, but under a lot of pressure as Mirva continues to push through. There's 3 players over there, and it's actually Kenny who picks it up through the smoke.
Yeah. Lucky, actually, quite lucky to survive that. He just wides in, not aware that there's a bit of a gap in the smoke, so it could have potentially gone down there. Sushin, I don't know, hoping for chance number 2 to gap someone. Not going to be the case, though. But still, G2 weakened B defense here. It's going to be Shocks this time around. He does have an AWP as well, so there is potential for him to find multiple kills, but there's no backup at any given point. So he needs to come up big.
Well, there's the first kill coming in onto Kito. Looks back for the second. Still alive in the middle of the bomb site. Moving forward, Shocks just trying to get the info, shoulder peeking, gets the info of where he's playing from, calls his teammate in to help him, and there's the kill from Shocks. Bombs on the floor. Speedy does a good job there to actually get one before he dies, but seriously, he's got to pull off a 1v3 clutch, and Shocks, here's the angle, a great triple kill towards the B bomb site.
Yeah, finally what we needed to see, and also plays that really, really well once he picks up the first frag on towards B. Just, again, as he said, shoulder peeking to get information, allowing a rotation to come in and help him out, instead of wide peeking, potentially dying and giving Sprout control of the bomb site. 7-5 is going to be the score line there for Sprout. It's going to be another eco. So not a whole lot potentially happening for Sprout, but we've seen them work some miracles earlier on. I mean, while there's a bit of a lull, I guess you can tell everyone at home, if you feel interested and obliged to do so, you can head over to csgo.net. There's currently discounts and new cases going on every week. And if you didn't know, you could use the code Cologne as you enter your balance and get 30% added onto it, which is not too bad. You can get yourself some cool skins.
Skins equal wins, right?
Pretty much. I mean, Kenny has a Dragon Lore. He's beasting right now. I think there's a 1-to-1 correlation with that.
Exactly.
Speaking of.
Oh, there he goes. Gets the kill, but Amanek, again, only 1 kill against the pistol. Shocks, he's got to do a lot of work here. Looking back in towards the cross, and there's another one from Shocks. Luckily, Shocks can do it. Ooh. And that's a great play from him. 3 kills again, 8-5. GT already win the half, but something that's scaring me on the CT side is just Amanek is not really being able to hold on to the bomb side very well.
He's putting himself in such exposed positions, right? That he needs to really have them line up, or yeah, he's going to go down. You can't really give these kind of players too many chances of doming your head. I've seen that be the case many, many times. Shoxy, though, he's playing the angles really, really well so far. So you see a bit of a highlight reel from the G2 side.
So I didn't quite... Oh, wait, it's going to be a faster play here from Favin. He's going to go straight in towards B. Amanek holding the cross from window.
Oh, he's got the op. Everybody gets to go.
Oh, there we go. Amanek able to pick up the kill onto Favin, and he's alive.
A bit of a change of pace for Amanek there, but he'll take it. That is all the B aggression gone from Sprout.
It's interesting, Amanek picking up the secondary AWP. I wonder if that's just sort of positional, you know, playing inside of the B-bomb side, do they want to have Amanek on it? He's got such a scary potent AWPer here on Kenny S up towards short. He'll look for the kill, but the cross coming in already. That's that run that's really working on it, but Jax gets aggressive this time, catching off Mirabit, and it's a 2-man advantage for G2.
Yeah, Shox has also decided to get aggressive over towards the B-bomb side of the map. He's going to shortly be arriving in lower. Seems like Sprout has an idea that this might be happening. There we go, Keto. Able to save his teammate from certain death. Opens up the map a little bit as well. Amanek left alone once again. We'll see if he's going to be able to hold on.
He's kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place at this point as well, because they're coming back through mid, and he has to look towards the tunnels or mid. Makes the wrong call. Spitty able to pick him up at the window, and is back into the 3v3. So perhaps over-aggressive aggression there from G2, not really having to go that aggressive, and they've let it slip back into a 3v3.
Yeah, and again, it's the B-bomb site that suffers for it. Becoming a bit of a broken record on the side of G2 in that sense. Speedy still hanging out in mid, wants to catch off any sort of rotations. Kenny has spotted him out, but no kills just yet.
Well, Jack's coming in with a kill onto Searson. Back into the advantage for G2. They've got to move quick. It's a kill from Lucky. Spitty has to do it all. The 1v2 clutch. The defuse coming in. Spitty sprinting in towards the bomb side, trying to get it done. But the defuse is through. Spitty gets the kills. But G2 walk away with a round win.
They do. Small consolation price for Spitty to be able to pick up an op for Searson. But yeah, you really needed that round. And you finally see a retake of the B-bomb site working out for Sprout. It seemed like they were not really aware of where they could have gotten attacked from. I think it was Searson who got caught off guard by Jax pushing him from upper dark.
Yeah.
That set things into motion for G2.
Jax seems to have a great understanding of when to go aggressive towards long. He makes the right call.
Absolutely. So caught Mirbit sleeping for a little bit there. So big box smoke comes in from Sprout. It's going to make life a little bit harder for Amanek to find a potential opening.
Just holding. I don't know if he spotted the legs cross over that.
Should have. Seems like he's aware of it. He's definitely going to know someone's up on catwalk right now.
Well, if he had any dots, then that's definitely no longer there. Lucky playing in behind the smoke. Not exactly the angle you expect him. It's a little bit further back, and so he can fall back inside of the bomb site instead of dropping off towards CT.
Nade coming in from Kenny as well. So they've done a bit of a switcheroo. Might be expecting an AUG to play up versus them now. And he circumvents the smoke as well. Really well done. And again, that aggressive push into upper.
Yeah, when it works, it's very solid. And Kenny S is running through the smoke. Double kill comes in. Mirabit finally picks him up, but it's again impossible as Amanek will finish off the job. 10-5 for G2. It wasn't such a one-sided half. I felt like it was very scrappy, but G2 still make it happen.
Yeah, eke out rounds here and there. And again, once Sprout, it felt like they might have turned the tide of the game with winning that eco round more or less, and then they follow it up by losing to pretty much Kenny. And it seemed like they, kind of got their air knocked out of them from that point on. Double digits in the first half for G2, not bad at all. Very impressive showing. We'll see, though. Still plenty of CS to be played here. Sprout hoping to get a pistol to get him off to a good start on the CT side, but see if G2 are going to allow for that to happen. Big box smoke comes out, but we see the majority of G2 hanging out towards upper dark.
Well, here's yours from GG.Bet, starting to very much so favor G2 at this point. We'll see if the pistol can turn that around, though. It's going to be Keto picking up Jax early, but the instantaneous trade is there from Shox, and the pressure towards lower dark is going to come in from Kenny S. It's going to be serious in getting finished off. Man advantage there for G2. But Spitty, that's the bomb.
Oh.
That's so fortunate for him. It rolls to his feet through the mid door.
Somehow this is kind of working out for them. Shocks with the late flank from long. And, well, Kenny just decides to dive into mid, and he's going to find 2 for himself. There you have it. Sprout just getting pressured from every single point on the map. Not really able to cope with it.
Yeah, we were talking in the video, and you obviously brought up the point that this is such a scary map to play against G2 on it. It's so true. Like, how many times do we see Kenny S play Dust2 and just tear up the server?
More often than not, right?
Yeah.
And it's a map that Shocks has always been supremely confident on. Loves playing this. It gives a lot of freedom to players to basically showcase their individual skill, and that's not something that's lacking on the side of G2, to put it lightly.
Yeah, the scary thing is Kenny S looks like he's confident. He's playing these very aggressive play styles. You know, he sent up first tier towards long.
Yeah, 18-6. That's what he's sitting on right now. Do have a scout at the back of the site, Seriously. So Kenny needs to be a little bit careful. Yeah, attack down to 9 HP. Oh, still going to go for it and gets punished as well.
That's one of the AKs out of play, the only AK.
Yeah, and you don't really want to take this fight with a MAC-10, that's for sure. They're going to try to put down a smoke, probably retrieve that gun. Faven misses an opportunity to find another kill for them. Shocks is tagged down pretty low. Same thing goes for Jax. And I mean, you could see the rotation and the movement from Sprout. They're encroaching on this A-bomb site.
Yeah, G2 are very limited to go in towards here. It's going to be Lucky trying to get the kill. Flash by in, doesn't get a single frag. And so Shocks and Amanek, the last 2 players standing. It's only Amanek at this point, and it's going to fall apart. Sprout win on the pistols.
Yeah, that not the cookie cutter anti-eco you expect to see out of top teams. Dropping 1 player down into pit, that's fair enough, but that was the only rifle, as you mentioned, or only, I guess, proper rifle they can go long range with. Going up against a scout as well, you probably have to duck out. Like, leave Kenny in pit, just recognize the fact that there's a scout there, let him hang out, and everyone else moves about to see if they find an opening somewhere else on the map. But they definitely wanted to force that fight, and it didn't pan out. Now we've got a bit of a forced AK buy out of G2 to follow this up.
I mean, if the second half goes anything like the first, we've got to expect G2 to pull something out here.
Yeah. It's going to be Lucky and Jax are kitted out. Seriously, just time and time again going for those aggressive peaks. Not able to connect just yet. He's fallen a little bit back as well as he realizes the timing from Lower Dark could come in to pressure him.
So with the newer players, we'll say, Lucky and Jax coming into G2, I think that was a big part because of the coach of G2, because obviously he was he was the coach at 3D Max, and he said those guys were very much like good prospects, and so he's brought them in. I think probably going to have a big say in that, because I remember speaking to him at the Face It Miners when he was with that 3D Max team, and he said he's willing to you know, try and help them out and bring. And obviously when G2 needed new players, they've come from the 3D Max team. So yeah, I'm assuming there's some sort of input coming in there.
Probably. I know Jax is a very sought after player. Vitality was also looking at Jax, and they actually offered him to join Vitality at a certain point, and he turned them down.
Well, kills are coming in for G2, which is a good sign, but Kito, he's still alive. He's got the AUG onto Jax, looking for another, but Lucky will finish him off. It leaves Mirabit and Favin into a very sticky situation. Mirabit gets 1 headshot onto Lucky. Man advantage still there for G2, but Favin's going to be making his way around the corner. He wants to get close. This could be the kill, and there it is. Back into the 2v2, another one from Favin, and he'll pull them out of the hole.
Man, Amanek surprisingly unaware of that being a potential, or being a possibility for somebody sneaking up E-ramp there. Well, it's going to cost them. You can see everyone on the side of G2 kind of caught off guard. They bring it back, but it was a costly affair, you have to say. Losing 3 members, so the dream of being able to stabilize an economy might be a little bit far-fetched. Seriously, probably going to opt to go in for that op, even though they do know that they should be going up against an eco. Then again, we have seen G2 do some funky buys here and there.
I think obviously they would have been really happy winning the round there, but
yeah,
I think still getting a bomb plant and 3 kills, you know, you've damaged their economy, you're keeping it modest on the Sprout side of things, and you've also got a little bit of extra cash in your bank account for the next one.
For sure. I think the smart play here from G2 is just to, well, you could do a bit of a half buy, I guess. You can invest into pistols and whatnot. Yeah. Just don't go too crazy. You should have a really, really strong buy coming into the next one. And every kill you get at this point is obviously going to be pretty detrimental for Sprout, because they really haven't had much time to ease up and build their bank. And it's looking pretty nice right now, obviously, with Searson sitting at 7.3, but he's going to have to buy an AWP. It's going to be a lot of money gone.
Sprout will be very happy about winning the anti-eco, though.
Yeah, absolutely. It was definitely what they needed because G2 winning pistol, converting on that. All of a sudden, you're looking at a very, very tough game where it seems out of reach. 13-5, kind of a lead. Usually too much to deal with in terms of playing for the comeback. So they needed that pretty much right off the bat. Fair bit of typing going on in the chat. We can't really see what they're typing, but we can assume that they're talking about life in general. Obviously, just getting ready, unpausing for each other as freeze time gets going.
You see some very interesting sort of topics being discussed between players when you look at the chat.
Oh, yeah. Oftentimes not related to the game at all.
No,
just completely random.
Yeah, I think but during the minor qualifiers, I think they were asking, Michael Ailey was asking BlimF, like, how much can he deadlift? And BlimF would just go, I don't deadlift.
Well, he doesn't deadlift.
No, he hurt his back or something.
Ah, okay, fair enough. He probably lifted way too much weight, right? Like he's such a massive guy. Oh, okay. At least he's honest about it, right? Yeah, and I could probably deadlift both you and me.
Yeah.
And then some.
He's massive.
He's baited. That's actually one of the funniest moments I saw from the Pro League group stages when Heroic managed to qualify and just gives a massive bear hug to NATO. NATO Safix is, for those who don't know, he's a pretty tall guy, but he's not built like BlimF, to put it that way. Yeah. So I could just see the life force being squeezed out of him.
His eyeballs start bulging on his head.
Speaking of eyeballs being popped, Jax is going to go down. Searson with a nice follow-up as well. Nearly connects onto a third. Sees an opportunity. He's going to get some help from GG.Bet. That's a very well dealt with anti-eco round from Sprout.
Yeah, finally we see a round against pistols actually go the way we expect it to go.
Balance has been restored eventually.
Took a while.
Yeah, we got there in the end, though. GT are going to be able to buy up Kenny on that op, so we might see some duels happening here. He's got the better of Searson for, well, the entirety of the first half, I want to say.
Yeah. There's double op here on Sprout, though. They've got one on Fabian and one on Searson, so frees up Searson a little bit more.
It does. It's also a pretty hefty investment on the side of Sprout. Oh. Big so nice Molotov.
That's not great for Searson. Flash into a Molotov and has to fall away. So the early play from him, he wanted to go aggressive towards long and try and source an opening kill. Forced away by the utility usage of G2, but Spitty, he's still close up towards short. He could still get this kill onto Kenny S.
Yeah, there's also some movement in upper dark as well from the CT side. I'm not sure if they got spotted out, but Spitty's going to find the drop on Kenny. Shoxy quick to reply. And yeah, it does seem like Omenik towards spawn managed to hold back the aggression coming in from Keto and Faven. So even though they initially cleared out upper dark, that area is lost now for Sprout. Lucky you don't want to take that challenge too many times. We saw what Searson could do with the scout.
Yeah. They've reinforced middle, though, and that's where Shox is currently playing, and Faven, he'll be able to pick him up. Looks back up towards top mid as well. Searson taking away Lucky through a wall. It leaves G2 in a very sticky situation here. 2v4. It's not looking too great for their chances, especially with Spitty still on short. They're going to run right into him. The AUG sprays away. There's the first kill. Trying to come in with the second, but Amanek, he's so low. 28 HP. Has to try and recover the bomb. He will get another kill, though, so perhaps there is a chance here for him.
30 seconds. He can still do this, going up against, well, one op at least in Searson. And that's probably why he's opting to go towards A. As weird as it sounds, but because he's low HP, he doesn't want to deal with potential rifle. Doesn't really matter if you get tagged once with an op, you die either way. Oh, we can expect Searson to hide on site, though.
Oh, he spotted him.
I think he saw it, yeah.
Oh, here he goes. Oh, going for the shot. It's the no-scope coming in from Amanek.
Still has time to plant as well.
Bomb plant comes through. Kito starting to make his way through CT. This round looked impossible, but Amanek might just pull it off. He'll head towards the back of the bomb site, close towards ramp, scoped in. He's taking the fight to Keto. There's the shot, and Amanek pulls it off. What a clutch. 4 kills for him, and G2 will hit 12.
That was a 1v4, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I guess, but yeah, more or less, because he gets the trade onto Spitty on catwalk, then finds the quick kill in mid, and from there on out, it's just the Amanek show. And for whatever he was lacking initially on B with how he was
he's made up for it.
Yeah, positioning himself, that definitely makes up for it, absolutely. Big round for G2, and again, double op setup on the side of Sprout. Drains so much out of your economy that you can tell. Faven sitting at 2.1, Mirabit down to 2.3. This is, I mean, it could be a buy-in from Sprout. They could get an op on Searson. They could get Augs on Spitty. Keto can get a FAMAS, some utility and whatnot, but it's not going to be strong buy if they opt in for this. Man, that's a nightmare scenario.
Yeah.
Omnic really just being the big hero for G2 there in that instance.
The kill onto Spitty was probably the most important one there, because obviously he's seen the bomb. Spitty knows, oh, he's got the bomb, he's close by behind Xbox, but he peeks so quickly and gets the kill that it just gives him a chance into the clutch.
Very well done. He's going to go for the aggressive peek towards long as well. He's not going to find any Sprout players, though. Was there on a bit of an eco. Searson has opted in for Scout. Was able to do a ton of damage with that on his previous go.
Yeah. Definitely makes, if he gets a couple of shots landed, that's his job, right? You know, the pistols can take him away.
So a bit of a lull in action as G2 just want to make sure they don't lose to another eco. Can understand it. A lot of SMGs on their side. Well, I say a lot, but there's 2 in play. Around 22. So you're allowing Kenny to scour ahead at long. Just going to find one. Well, that's actually going to be too much for him to deal with. Lucky standing with a nade in his hand, not able to get the return. Shoxy, though. Aggressive push into upper, not going to do Sprout any favors. That's the B-bomb side open. Smoke's going to go down. Bomb's going to be able to cross over without too much of an issue here. Now we know how difficult it is to retake. It doesn't become easier when you don't really have the weapons or utility for it. Sprout, they might just have to be happy with what they got right now.
Shox has just been sort of a lone wolf in this game, just doing his own thing. See him push through mid already in the T side. He's been able to pull Ron's back and here in towards B. You know, there wasn't exactly too much success from G2 off towards long early. I mean, Kenny S dying, Lucky follows up with death as well. So luckily, Shox is here to pull it back for G2.
That's the op actually going down on Mirabit. Speedy might be able to retrieve it. Oh, actually, no. They've given that away to Searson already, so heads up play from Sprout. Oh, okay. Speedy's making some money here.
If he can get Amanek as well, this is perfect for Sprout. Should be very happy about that, but unable to pick it up. Instead, upgrades to the AK-47, and that's not bad either.
Definitely not. Sprout at least gets a little bit of economic relief from that round. It's pretty much what they could have hoped for going into it. The round was really much on the cards for G2. And we see the updated bets, GG.Bet, providing you the odds for the map winner of this one. It's Sprout's map pick, but you see G2 heavily favored, 1.16 an odds for them. Sprout up to 4.48. Got a bit of an uphill battle, so it's understandable.
Yeah, definitely. I think obviously G2 only 3 rounds away from taking their opponent's map pick. It's hard to look past this series being a 2-0 when you see this start from G2. It's kind of a question of what G2 you're going to see turn up, though. And so when you're in the sort of predictions, you can't exactly confidently say you expect G2 to win it 2-0, but it's always in the back of your head.
Very true.
This is
Boost
interesting.
happening, yeah, okay.
He's trying to spot someone, but luckily Keto hid behind the box, crouched in behind, his head was not showing, so they don't have the information. And Keto's got a good angle.
Still going to get taken out, though, and Faven as well follows suit. That's the open B bomb site, and that spells trouble for Sprout. Lucky. Setting up an anti-flash, I'm assuming.
So difficult, and again, Shox has been that lone wolf lurking over on towards short, coming in behind. Oh, wow, that's a kill. Easily picked up. Unfortunately, cannot get the second, and so Spitty tries his best towards window, but he will be finished off by Jax as well, who's had a stellar round. Finding those 2 opening kills coming into the bomb side for him. Cleans up the site, makes it easy to hold on.
Very much so, and we're going to see if Mirabit will be able to hold on. There is one player in Kenny S lurking about. There's no reason for Mirabit to go more aggressive here, though. Well, as it's going to be a 14th round on for G2, what you can do while you wait is head over to csgo.net and use code Cologne to get 30% more off your balance. Ooh. And maybe you can start to possess the skills that Mirabit has as he cleans up 3 players from G2 trying to save. That's very well done. And actually, that does a number on G2's economy.
Yeah.
Really, really well done.
They have barely any utility to work with if they decide to go on the rifles, but forces them onto the Mac 10s and MP5 on Kenny S.
Yeah.
The buy here from Sprout is much better.
It really, really is. Double op once more. How are G2 going to deal with this? This is going to be pace, perhaps. We see a lot of pressure over towards B early on, or these Presence.
Oh, wow. Here goes Kenny. Right through the Molotov. They're firing flames. He will get the kill on Akito. Does a little bit of damage onto his teammate as well. He's just bloodthirsty at this point. David makes his way back into the bomb site. Kill onto Lucky is collected. Back into the equilibrium. He keeps going for more. Oh, nice no-scope. Connecting on to Kenny S as Shocks gets it done on the MAC-10. 3v3.
Yeah,
Faven still locking off the bomb site.
He's going to join in on the B bomb site. He's got the smoke for the cross. Oh, he does not know about Mirbit, though. And Mirbit holds his trigger as well. Oh, this could be disaster waiting to happen.
They're so sure this is clear. Oh, turns around the wrong time. Jax will be finished off by Mirbit. So now they know that it's there, but still you have to deal with the man advantage on the CT side.
Bomb plan here coming in from G2, and Mirbit has actually fallen all the way back, so no pressure from upper just yet. Question is if G2 are going to expect that. Okay, Omnic. It's aggressive.
It's working. He's got 2 kills.
Oh, but here, yeah.
I'm expecting the last. Mirbit, he's so intelligent at this play. In this round, he's so smart. Just flanks in behind, makes the right call to come back through middle. You can see he just was in the head of G2. They had no idea where he was.
Really did, and that's going to secure them around. But G2, given the investment, I mean, it's not a half bad result. Bomb plant down, 4 members killed on the side of Sprout. Even though they don't get around, it's going to prevent them from getting a double op at least. We'll see if G2 feel tempted enough to buy. They would have more money now for a buy than what they had in the previous round, but it seems like they might go a bit on the conservative side.
Yeah.
Again, they do have the cushion to kind of play this off as well. Makes sense.
It's pretty crazy how G2 have just won 3 rounds in a row, then sent back to a super weak bye.
Yeah, as you said, I mean, the first half ended 10-5, but did really seem closer than what the scoreline might entail. It's kind of been a similar story here. Sprout's been doing good damage onto G2.
Seriously holding off short, has Spiddy to step in with him as well. Shocks and Kenny S. Well, just Shocks at this point with the Deagle left on his own. I think he's been hurt as well. Faven able to finish him off. Double figures for Sprout. Not only 4 rounds away from evening things out against G2.
Let's see if they can do it. Obviously, pretty.
Still not a good buy though here from G2.
Yeah, no, there's a. I'm not really sure why we saw such a heavy investment towards the tail end of it. Omnic buying up with Kevlar, SMGs and whatnot. Still going to opt in for the buy here, but this is the kind of thing that's, well, more or less completely unnecessary on the side of G2. You don't necessarily need to break Sprout at this stage of the game. You win 1 round, you're secured map point. Or you're playing for it for map point at least. But yeah, this is not going to be an easy round to win for G2.
It's quite similar to the buy we've seen 2 rounds ago.
Yeah, it very much is. An additional rifle to their name, I guess, instead of the MP5 on Kenny. And they do have utility to work with here as well. So Shock's going to throw out the close Molotov to clear out anyone sitting behind the doors. Nobody for Sprout around, though. They're playing 2 people very tightly in on that B-bomb site. Faven just peering into mid from double doors. Question is, where did G2 feel like they have the best opportunity to do something? Searson's going to be posted up aggressively on Catwalk. Well, similar approach from G2. Not the most perfect run boost we've seen ever. Still gets him past, though, and Searson's going to have to drop down.
He gets the information, he falls away.
Does give cat control up for G2, and they do have a lot of smokes here, so Searson needs to be a little bit weary. He's going to go back aggressive here, though.
He wants some more. He wants some action. As they start to come in towards him, he might just get that. Here comes the smokes, the utility being used up. He goes for the aggressive pick and Shocks. He's the man that falls victim to the AWP. So it's into the man advantage, but Jax, chaos in the smoke. This is so awkward. How is he still alive? Finally, he's picked off by Sirius on the P250. And it's a 2-man advantage for Sprout. They just back off, they get a reset, and make sure that they feel comfortable in cool, cam, and collected. But Lucky, he's gone unevaded. He will get dropped by Faven, and not looking great here for G2.
Well, it's going to be a tough one. Omnic is in a position to deal with some of it, at least. He's going to tag team with Kenny, but that's a perfect flash. Oh, well, it's retake successful on the side of Sprout. Really, really well done there. And 11 rounds in G2 again. Faltering a little bit in the department of weaponry and so on that push. And yeah, confusion and smoke didn't really pan out for them that time around.
And that's 3 in a row for Sprout. So I think that's one of the first times we've actually seen them pick up 3 in a row.
Yeah, might actually
they
be.
had it in the. Actually, I think they had it at the start of the second half.
Yeah, after breaking it, but that's pretty much it. They never really got around to it. Never managed to string enough rounds together on the T side. See pause coming in. This is, I'm assuming G2's talking things over, and surely there's no way they actually buy up in this.
I mean, I would have loved to have just seen like a half buy in the last one.
Yeah.
You would have such a solid buy in this round. You would have the AWP available to Kenny S. You'd have the utility there, but it's a little bit strange to see the buy keep coming through.
Might have learned from previous mistakes. As we see the scoreboard, Speedy, the one fragging out heavily for Sprout here, 25, 5, and 16. Currently the top fragger on the server. A little bit more evenly spread, I guess, at the very top for G2. Ominic, Shocks, and Kenny sitting at 21 and 20, respectively.
Yeah. That big clutch from Amanek boosting his numbers quite a bit as well.
Yeah, that's very true. Searson peeking into mid as we do see half buy. Again, going very low though, Shoxy down to 1.5. I guess he will have a 4-round loss bonus if they were to lose this one. So he's still going to be able to buy, but just feels like it's a bit of an unnecessary amount of investment from G2 side.
Especially since the AWP has been such a pivotal part to their success as well. You know, you've seen so many big runs from Kenny S, even Amanek picking it up, and if you really start to limit the times you can get that AWP in the Kenny S's hands, that's such a scary sign for them.
Flash into mid. Not necessarily going to affect Speedy, but still good enough to get the job done. And into CT spawn they go, actually. Kenny not able to connect with the AUG spray, and it's going to allow for Mirabit and Searson to find 2.
Yep, gets another inside of the site. Flashbang comes in as well. He's looking for a little bit more. It's actually Jax who picks off Searson. Favin able to trade back, and it will be Lucky on 4 HP in his own, on his own. This should be over, and there we go. 14-12. Sprout only 2 rounds away not from evening things out.
Yeah, because of the investment, you talked about it. I mean, there's going to be enough money for Kenny to have an AWP, but it's going to be a glass cannon.
Yeah.
That's, well, unnecessary on the side of G2. Simple as.
Do they even go? Yeah, they do go for it. But
yeah, so if that was the plan all along, then there's no real justification for doing that kind of a buy they did in the previous round. I mean, or the round before, for that matter.
Exactly. It is that sort of traditional French CS, though. It's forced buy every single time.
Used to work a little bit better when the CZ was not nerfed and so on. We'll see if they can still make do with what they have. Sprout are inching closer, 12 rounds now.
Well, Searson looking in towards the tunnels. Looking for a pick. Jump comes across. That's the info picked up. And Searson unable to pick up the kill. They come in towards him. Leg shot comes through. Amanek will pick up the first kill. Keto there with a reply, but Lucky has done a good job. They've got control of the B bomb site.
Shoxy again. The lone wolf. Not going to get the drop on Spitty. That's pretty big. Kenny's going to have to be the one to defend Upper Dark now.
So difficult in these sort of angles when you're scoped in. You don't want to unscope to give away your position. He's going to play contact, and there it is. The kill on the Spitty. Back into the man advantage for G2. All they need to, at this point, is hold on to the bomb site. I think at this point, Sprout might just consider saving the weapons.
Yeah. Man disadvantage going up against that B-bomb site retake. Not an ideal scenario. They seem to be hanging out a little bit. Maybe it probably wants to pick up that op lying down in lower dark. There we go. So finally, map point secured for G2. It took them a while. It was a little bit rougher than they might have anticipated, as we had a bit of a 4-round streak from Sprout, but they get there in the end. Another pause coming out. Talk things through. Let's see. Double ups is going to be the name of the game on the side of Sprout. They've been able to rack up a fair bit of money. We'll see, though, if they can make a final stand or if it's going to be G2 to actually steal away Sprout's map pick. Keep in mind, as soon as we're done with Dust2, we'll be heading over to Overpass, which is G2's map pick.
I think this veto actually worked out pretty well for G2.
Oh, yeah. You have to be happy with what you see, at least for the very first 2 maps.
Yeah.
Dust2, again, very, well, commonly played map for the French. pretty confident in, as shown. There's the reason why they're sitting at map point right now. And Overpass, obviously, something they've been playing more and more and having, well, pretty decent success on, honestly. Can't really say the same thing for Sprout on that very map.
Kenny sent over towards B early to see if he can source a kill. Nothing being seen by him apart from smokes and Molotov, so he'll have to fall away into the tunnels. The rest of his team up there as well, just chilling. Now I've got the bomb all the way back over towards spawn, and that's where Shox is currently playing from.
Yeah, G2 busting out that double op. Might have figured that there's some truth to what you were saying earlier. Ops has been playing a pretty pivotal part for them so far. Jax finds the trade. Meanwhile, over towards long, Mirbit's going to find Lucky, though. So man advantage still goes the way of Sprout.
So Shox has left the bomb there and decided to go for the kill. He's got it as well. So successful play here from Shox. Kenny S through the mid door, spots the player close, and that'll pull it right back. Man advantage here again for G2. Looking good for their chances. There's only one player over defending that A-long position, and the bomb can be recovered by Jax.
Now it remains to be seen where they actually go. They do have a fair bit of utility too. Mainly on Jax, but could be exactly what they need.
If they go out through short, it's going to be pretty easy to take this A-bomb site.
Well, still have to keep Faven honest in that sense. Use the utility they have. They only have one flash. It might be hard to get him out of the angle. Shox has been really going on an adventure. Is he going to be the one to find Faven? Ooh. He might be. And he is. Really well done. And definitely not something Faven was expecting.
Yeah, so 3v1. Spitty has to stop Sprout from falling on their map pick here. It has to be the 1v3 clutch. G2, they have the A-bomb site. The time is ticking. And Spitty holds the cross. Gets one kill on the Kenny S, but they know where he is. So he'll go back through the mid doors. Up through Xbox. We're attempting to get there.
There we go.
Eventually we'll get up. And this has to be very quick from him to try and get back into the bomb site. He has got a kit. Flash still alive as well. He'll go over the top. That's the utility used. And here he goes. He's just throwing everything at G2. Can he get it done? Damage done onto the player on ramp at the time. So far gone at this point. It will be G2 most surely walking away with Dust2. 16-12 on their opponent's map pick. A great showing from them.
Absolutely. Stealing away the map pick of Sprout. Speedy's heroic efforts. 27 kills at the very end is not going to be enough.
Yeah.
I think more of it came down to, well, first half really. Not able to get more than 5 rounds on their CT side. Really did them in.
Yeah.
Well, the T side, I should say. And yeah, again, a lot of the well, nitty-gritty details, small margins, seemingly favoring G2 more so than not. And I think that's what ends up having us see a G2 win. Yeah, that's the way the cookie crumbles. Sometimes, you know, you have a lot of the close rounds, but some of them go in favor of G2. I'm looking forward to seeing the second map of the series, though. Yeah. It's Overpass coming up next. Make sure you don't go anywhere. Stick with us, as we'll be back after the break.